The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. I'm going to stop right there. I want to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And Shalom to 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp, doing a quick lunch break lesson. It's going to be a news update. All right, breaking news. But before I get into the news clip, I want to let you know that this is the characteristics of Esau Edom. All right, the devil, the so-called white man. And those Israelis over there in the land of Israel right now, they are Edomites. Okay, you see, they are of the tribe of Amalek. And they're going to be the main ones that pop off what you know as World War III or the War of Armageddon as prophesied. All right. And right now in the news, they're speaking peaceably. All right. So let's go ahead and let's play this video clip. All right. Never trust your enemy. These devils are murderous and, they always break their covenants. And this is why you can't believe anything they say. But let's go ahead and play this clip, man. Everybody's excited about this recent breaking news. Let's check it out. So fair use. This is from the channel, The Young Turks. All right. And it says breaking news. Hamas and Israel agree to phase 1 of peace deal, Trump says. Let's check it out.
Just moments ago, President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, "I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase." It's important wording, first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed upon line. Words are important. As the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. And we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers. So I am cynical because of how many times we have found ourselves in this exact same scenario. People seem a little more optimistic this time around. I don't really understand why, but maybe I'm just too cynical to see it. Let me give you a few more details, Cenk, and then, because you seem more optimistic about this than I am, and I'm curious what you think. So Trump said Wednesday afternoon, meaning today, that he may travel to the Middle East by the end of the week as negotiations are going along very well. Now, Hamas said that lists of prisoners to be exchanged were presented, and mediators are exerting great efforts to remove any obstacles ahead of steps to implement a ceasefire, and there is a spirit of optimism among all parties. So that's new. I haven't heard that in previous ceasefire negotiations. Now, according to Newsweek, negotiators were continuing focusing on establishing practical steps for a halt to the fighting and the logistics of a prisoner exchange. Now, remember last week.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it right there. You can watch the full video on your own time. Just wanted to share that with you. So this is recent news, all right? President Trump has announced that they've brokered some kind of peace deal between Israel and Hamas, all right? And we know it's all bullshit, man. Why? Because we understand prophecy, all right? You get a lot of people that are simple out there that actually believe that this could be possible. We understand that we're in a time of war, man. Let's get a quick precept. Here we have the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 19. It says, "We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts." So we have a more sure word of prophecy. These words of the scriptures are faithful and true, and it prophesies of the nation of, I'm gonna say the nation, the state of Israel popping off the last world's war. Okay, I believe it's Jeremiah 49 verse 20. All right, these are prophetic things happening in these last days, and nobody's gonna be able to sidestep it. So when you see them talking about peace and safety, understand that, hey, something big and violent is coming. All right. We have a sure word of prophecy. Let's get that Jeremiah 49 and 20 real quick. All right. Here we have it right here. Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh by Shai, that he hath taken against Edom. All right. Edom being the so-called white race. All right. And his purposes, that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And the least of the flock is who? The state of Israel, man. Those Israelis over there. That's who that's referring to. They're going to draw out the rest of the nations into World War III. So them talking about a peace deal and people believing in it and optimistic about it, they're fooled, man. All right. Those that don't understand prophecy believe in things like this, man. They get their hopes up only to get let down by sudden destruction breaking loose. All right. Let's get a quick precept on that. All right. Here we have it. You know, I had to get it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman and with child, and they shall not escape. So we're not in the time of peace and safety. If you believe that peace and safety is coming in these last days, you're clearly out of your damn mind. All right. You see? So you can expect something sudden to pop off, man. When they're talking about peace and safety, a big event could, take place, man, in the near future to, forward this conflict between the nations. Okay. Because we're in the end, man. We're in the last seconds of the game, man. All right. So we got our antennas up. We're watching to see what takes place. People are excited about this, breaking news, but we understand how it's going to go, man. The damn netting, Satan Yahoo, should I say, ain't going to stop, what he's doing, man. They have plans on trying to take over all the land. All right. They really want to take over the world, man. All right. So this whole peace deal is full of shit, man. It's bullshit. Donald Trump talking about everlasting peace is possible. Nah, man. Let's get another precept. All right. Jeremiah 50 and verse 22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. You understand? That's the sound of the alarm that we're sounding off, man, as the true men of Yahweh Shai. The prophets are giving you that certain sound that war is in the air, man. And it's going to get to the point where it's going to turn nuclear at some point. And all nations will be dragged into this. All right. That's prophesied to happen, man. All right. So we're not getting lulled back to sleep and being all optimistic of peace in the Middle East. Nah, man, we understand what's going to happen. All right. And the wool is not being pulled over our eyes. All right. The simple believeth every word, right? Let's get that precept. Here it is right here, since I mentioned it. The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. And the prudent men are those who are following Yahweh Shai and hearkening unto the words of prophecy. Okay. The simple are these average, everyday Americans that look at this news, or these citizens of the world that look at this news and believe on it. All right. They're simple because they see it on TV and they believe it, man. They believe the lies of these devils, disregarding their previous track records of always breaking their peace agreements. I guess, they don't consider that. All right. We know what's going on, man. And the Lord has made us prudent by opening our eyes up to prophecy and understanding what's going to happen before it happens. All right. So we understand there's no peace coming to these nations. So they might be planning something very, very sinister. So keep your eyes open. All right, fair use, fair use. This video just popped up, all right, from The Hill, talking about the same breaking news. Let's go ahead and check them out to see what they got to say.
President Trump up before sunrise here at the White House and clearly watching the morning news as he was posting on True Social this morning. It comes just 12 hours after he announced that a deal was reached between Israel and Hamas to bring all hostages home. I was in the state dining room when Secretary of State Marco Rubio abruptly entered the room, sat near Trump, and passed him this note, basically saying they were very close to a deal and that he needed the president to compose a post on True Social to be the first to announce it. The president then told us that they were very close to peace in the Middle East and he had to go.
I may go there sometime toward the end of the week, maybe on Sunday, actually, and we'll see. But there's a very good chance that negotiations are going along very well.
The president then rushed over here to the West Wing, back to the Oval Office, and a senior White House official tells me that he drafted that True Social post announcing this deal himself, and he was very excited to see what he worked on for so long come to fruition, I'm told. He did make calls there in the Oval Office. We know he spoke with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who invited him to Israel to be there and address the Knesset. We also know he called the hostage families himself.
President Trump, you have the best crowd in the world. What do you guys have to say to President Trump?
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. You did it! You did it!
News Nation was the first to break the news live on air of the announcement about an hour before the president shared it on his True Social. A source directly familiar with the negotiations happening in Egypt told me that they were able to reach a deal on the hostages and the prisoner exchange, and that they were likely going to announce that last night, and that's just what the president did. We also heard that they were going to do the exchange likely into the weekend, and that matches up with when President Trump is teasing he could go to the Middle East.
So there you go, man. That's the breaking news, you know. And let's read this comment right here. So this guy, Bubba Chevy, he says, it looks like a so-called Negro, but who knows? It says, "Dear God, thank you for sending us our king, Donald J. Trump." Wow. He is the greatest president of all time because he beat that Kamala Harris thing during the presidential election. It saved our country once again. Anyway, this is some weirdo on here making comments. But anyway, the point is, man, people really believe in Donald Trump and him stopping this war between Israel and those Palestinians over there. All right, we understand prophecy and war is about to break out. Let's get one more precept, man. You know, matter of fact, let's read this comment. Somebody actually has some sense right here. It says, this is from Mary Sherman 9839. What are they up to? It still doesn't make up for all the terrible behavior this guy has done. This other guy says, I thought Israel created Hamas. And that's a whole nother lesson right there. But anyway, the point is that they're suspicious. Like, man, what are they up to? Some people actually can see through the bullshit. But we know through prophecy that it's bullshit for a fact. All right, there's no speculation on our side. We understand that the Third World War must take place, man. And it's going to be popped off by the same ones declaring peace. So I'm going to get ready to close it. I'm going to wrap this up with this one right here. The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, the third world's war, the third destruction. All right, we already had World War I. All right, World War II, and the third world's war is quickly approaching. All right, we're already in it. It's just got to heat up. And, you know, we could see something major develop here in regards to that in the near future. Because when they're talking about peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh, man. All right. And we know that they want to bring forth the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. And like I said, this is me speaking as a man. I believe that they could have some kind of event take place, some major mass casualty event take place, and have everybody afraid. All right. And they're going to say that in order to, make sure that you're a U.S. citizen or a citizen of whatever country you're from, the only secure way to know is by having people being implemented with the RFID microchip, man, the implant. And they're going to make it required. This is just me speculating how they're going to do it, I'm just speaking as a man, but we know that they are going to do it. And I don't know, maybe this whole situation between Israel and these other countries, this whole world's war could play a big part in that, man, being implemented. All right. Some kind of attack could take place, and then they're going to say, hey, we got to lock everything down, and to identify everybody, to make sure you're not working for the other side. We want to make sure you have the secure authentication of your identity, which is the RFID microchip. We'll see. But anyway, the point is that, man, they talking about peace, and we know that peace ain't coming. All right. The Lord is stirring up war, man. He said, think not that I'm coming to send peace, but a sword. Okay. So don't get caught off guard. Just watch the news, man, and continue to be vigilant, man, because we're in the last days, man. All right. So with that being said, just wanted to share that with y'all, man. Lord willing, it was edifying. Breaking news. They talking about peace between the state of Israel and Hamas, and it's bullshit. So I'm ending right there. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Kwame Asharala and the Bible Ball. Shalom to the elect.